I don't know how your heartbeat stays calm through all these. I guess another game, you're in the clutch. What are you learning about this team, especially this week? It seems like this has pretty much been a theme throughout most of these games. What are you learning about this team in terms of how they can perform and learn in these situations?
Well, I think what like is often lost in these is that in the long run, the luck plays a big part in the end game scenarios. We had some bad luck in the previous game against OKC. In the end, we also were complicit, I believe is the word in that, in allowing OKC to have luck there. By fouling them three times for an and one, opening up two open 3-pointers for 15 points in the last 4:30, I believe. I thought we handled ourselves a lot better today, and that was also the feedback video. It was one of our first ones, well, actually maybe second or third one, where we look at the end game scenario specifically and kind of the sequence of events and how do we put a stop to that? Because often, like the momentum kind of carries you, and one mistake snowballs into a second one. And I thought our guys did a great job with their composure at that. I believe we were 8 points down when Cam hit that three, and then Sed hits the three, and after that they didn't score. I think it was 98, 90 at that point, and it's it's very much about just keep doing the things that we've agreed. And one of the hardest things in that situation is you don't want to, you certainly don't want to do too little, but it's just as harmful to try to do too much, to try to take it all on your shoulders. Everybody has a role on each possession that they need to do, and when guys, they want to win, they're competing. I don't think anybody's questioning that, but you try to do a little bit too much, you get out of position, or somebody else now has to compensate for you. And I thought we did a much better job with that in the end of the game, just sticking to the basic ideas and having trust that that's enough to win the game.
Seemed like sort of earlier in the game, or maybe throughout the game, some of the live ball turnovers, some of the bad pass turnovers seem to be a particular frustration. What do you see that sort of leads to some of that, and what are you trying to iron out to limit those?
Yeah, it's extremely frustrating because there's two components that go into winning basketball. It's creating better shots and creating more shots. And last two games, we've had an offensive rebounding percentage of 40, which is tremendous with the group we have, because we play some small ball units out there too, and but we're giving back those possessions on the other end, and live ball turnover. That's the most costly play, pretty much the most costly play, because you're not only taking away from yourself that on average 1 point, let's call it that, but you're also increasing the value of the following possession for the other team, sometimes drastically if it's an open court layup. So those just harm you a lot, and we just got to do a better job of getting into our spots. These are two teams that we faced. Obviously, OKC and Brooklyn do a great job of pressuring. They do this full court with Brooklyn, and OKC does that more in the half court. And we just got to be better with our off ball movement. Generally, there's three players who are involved in most of the entries. That's the passer, that's the guy who's looking to get open, and then there's one or two screeners that are looking, and everybody's got to be more in sync. And even though we're throwing some lineups out there that have never really played together, we just got to find a way to get it done, and while not compromising our pace of game. And that's really the hardest part, to combine these two things, to keep playing fast, north-south, have quick outlets, but then also in the half court to make quick decisions while still valuing the ball.
Hey, Coach, what it says about Cedric Coward, he admittedly made the wrong play at the end of last game, but he made the big play at the end of this game. He could easily pass that shot up, but he took it because it was open three. What it says about his character as a young rookie?
Who said it was the wrong play at the end of last game? You are saying this?
He said it.
Okay, well, I don't know if it's the wrong play, but there wasn't a lot of options right there. But I think it does say a lot about him that he's not afraid of that moment. So, and he hasn't been. He's gotten a couple of looks. I think it was Philly game. He also got that open look, and he's completely undeterred, and he knows that he can get that shot off. And I think he's going to grow into a really nice closer in the future because he has not only that mindset, but he also has the game where he can also create space for him and the skill set to knock those down.
I want to say in the last like 90 seconds of the game, Jock Landale had 3 offensive rebounds, and even though he's not a guy that plays super above the rim or anything, how do you think he kind of offsets his limitations vertically?
Vertical limitations. It was the same, like one of our best offenses in end of OKC game was him getting an offensive rebound and then finishing up inside, and he's been a big part of that offensive rebound and how we've been able to generate extra possessions. And he has a will, and he's extremely competitive person, and in those situations it really helps him. And both of these teams went a little bit smaller and started switching a lot, which can cause the offense to stall out a little bit, but he's done a great job utilizing. Generally, you have 3 types of advantages there. You have one on the perimeter, you have one on the inside, but then the third one that's often forgotten is in the rebounds. And he's done a great job with that now a few games in a row, and feel very confident with him on the court there in the end.
Forgot to mention this before the game, but I remember you said that Ty Jerome was starting to ramp up now with you guys going to Europe, I guess. Is there a chance that he could play in either of those games, I guess, or what would you say in terms of how close he is to the point of being able to be ready to play given the timeline?
I don't see his current timeline matching with the Europe games. But everybody's going, and like I said, he's moved on to do things already on the court, and obviously wants to do a lot more, and just keep progressing.
Hey, Coach, Cam Spencer has had like 12 straight games of at least 5 assists, including 12 tonight, and a couple of other double-digit assists throughout them games. So, can you just go a little bit to how important he's been to the team?
Yeah, I mean, Cam is now a featured player on the other team's scouting report, and one of the things they try to do is try to limit the shots he's getting, and this is a natural evolution. And we in the beginning of the summer we already talked about it with Cam that this can be one of the possible pathways forward, that he kind of weaponizes his shot to a degree that he can create it off the dribble, not only off the catch that somebody has to create it for him. And then the second part is once that phase is complete, now it puts a lot more attention on him, and he's done a great job of feeding, especially Jock, who plays really well together with Cam and finds. And Jock's another experienced decision maker when he catches the ball in the pocket and can finish off of that, can also feed the open shooters on the perimeter. So I think it's a very complementary pairing, those 2 guys, and then obviously you need the other 3 also to space. So Cam is a lot of times like starts the chain reaction, and that says a lot about how the other teams view him. Thanks.